Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard to Healing with Marcus, Monday evening. We are here, we go live every Monday night in order to create this sacred space that we get to sit in, where we get to meet in the ether. We get to connect in that frequency of inner love. Trenton Shine, welcome aboard, Trenton. Good to see you, man. Ellie K, beautiful, grateful to see you here. And everybody else who are on board, I am very happy that we are becoming a little group of people every Monday night that enjoy these moments, right? We have moments of inner stillness. We have moments of insights, of clarity, where we become more clear on what your life requires, needs, and wants. And as we move into what we're doing here today, Glenna Coleman, yes, I'm grateful you're here. Nice to see you. So what we do here is we sit together, and at least once a week, we get this spiritual sustenance where we get to come together and just feel for a little bit. Feel into our body, feel into your heart, feel into your inner reality, and see how the different dots connect. Today we're going to be discussing the importance of soulmates and soul family, as well as talking about an energy report where we're at this moment of this year. And then we're going to go into our healing session. And we're going to start with an energy report, which I do pretty much every Monday. I hope to do that every Monday. And we're sitting here in this deep inner space. I was fortunate enough to spend time with my teacher this weekend. I got to sit with her in a lot of deep meditations and just sitting in deep stillness. And it's always very beautiful for me when I get to sit with beings, humans, in a certain frequency. One of the things that came up for me in that over the weekend is why she became my teacher, Ombute Devi, with Healing the Unseen, was because she was very, very deep and very, very real in that depth. There was no pretenses. There was nothing to try or pretend, or we weren't going after anything else but our inner truth. What your soul is speaking through you with your life. And as you get closer to hearing your heart, closer to feeling that vibration of who you actually are, closer to hearing the song in your heart, closer to feeling, oh, that makes my soul jitter. That makes me happy. That makes me go, oh, I like it. That's the depth we're going for. And on these journeys, there's nothing else that is as important as finding your deeper truth. And at the end, your deepest truth. Now, the energy of this week and of what we've been going through, we had a new moon last week, and we went into Mercury retrograde. And of course, like always, Mercury retrograde affects us in different ways. And it's a beautiful time of upheaval. It is a beautiful time of actually seeing what works in my life and what doesn't. And it's a beautiful time of seeing what is important in life and what isn't. And the new moon brought in these new insights, The energy is really palpable at the moment. And if you felt anything like I did, you felt a new clarity come in. You felt a new sense of, this is important in my life, and this may not be as important in my life, whatever it may be, right? Some things can go, some things can stay. But how I relate to my life can shift. This is where that beautiful part of inner stillness or mindfulness can really come in and give us perspective. Perspective of our life. So we zoom out a little bit and we can look at what has been going on through your life that has made you not reach where you wanted to go. What has happened for you that put you off track? And like we talked about the other day, was when we get a little bit off track, at the beginning of the journey, we'll be a lot off track years into it. So what we're doing now is we're course adjusting. We are finding our way back into our true self, into our core energy, letting that express itself. And this time of the year, both, of course, we're going into midwinter solstice coming up on Friday, on the 22nd of December. We're going into this beautiful time of shifting. Coming to the closing of this year, 2023, which was a very hard year for a lot of us. For a lot of us, we were very much shaken to our core. I was too. And at the same time, the lessons from these deep shakeups, you cannot replace those lessons, right? They're invaluable. And sometimes we won't learn any other way than being shaken up to our core. Not easy, but beautiful. The lessons that we can take with us from this experience is unbelievable. Whether it be to live more fully, or if it is that you've got to come back home to your heart, to your center more, or do both. But express yourself, express your life. Recognizing when the mind comes in and says, no, but that's not spiritual. If I do this, I'm not spiritual. If I do that, I am not this, or I am not that. Feel into your heart. Feel into your heart. And yes, we don't need to go completely crazy, but we do need to shake those walls that our mind has built for ourselves over the years. The walls of what's appropriate, what's not appropriate for you. So in my case, I had to learn to look at my things a little differently, to be a little more organized in how I approach certain things, to sit in a deeper space of understanding without judging. We are not talking about judgments here. We're talking about insights and an understanding of where we're coming from. And sometimes we can only do that when we grow really strong roots. These roots that go deep into Earth Mother. These roots that when we grow them, when we feel them growing, it shifts in our sacral chakra and our root chakra. There's a shift, energetic shift. And it's a beautiful experience when we can sit with that. Then we take a deep breath. Deeply into the body. And we learn to feel at home. We learn how to readjust our nervous system, regulate our nervous system, so that we can come back into our body, so we can feel what is really being expressed inside of us. So many of us have lived for such a long time in what we call the matrix, in the system. And this system that we're in never encourages us to feel, right? It doesn't encourage you to go within and look for your truth. It encourages you to push through, to go on, regardless of how it feels. Just do. Just become a doer. Let's be a good employee, good worker ant. And when you are a good worker ant, you get rewarded with vacation or weekends off. None of this really applies to being a full sovereign human being, recognizing our spiritual sovereignty, freedom. So as we move our awareness attention deep into ourselves, it becomes a lot easier to see through a lot of the, both we can call it propaganda or the illusions of the matrix. And as you start seeing through those illusions, it's not that we don't want to play by the rules, right? Because sometimes we do want to play by the rules. But it is that you want to sit with yourself. You want to be true to yourself, to your spirit. And see when that is being contradicted from the outside. And today's theme, what came up earlier, was this idea of soulmates. And when we look at soulmates, what is a soulmate? It is often somebody who vibrates on your frequency. So when you meet them, you get an innate sense of belonging, an innate sense of I've known this person before, and an innate sense of just a congruency, an entrainment of your heart, of your spirit, that's already in place in the other person. So when you meet a soulmate, sometimes your whole world will be shaken up. Sometimes your whole sense of universe, of life, gets shook up. Because it will shake you to your core. It's what we call love, right? And that is, in those cases, it's interpersonal love between two people. And when you run into your soulmate, you go, whoa, that was something special right there. And it doesn't always mean that a soulmate is forever. Even though that is the ultimate solution, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, right? Because often we're not ready. Often either you or the other person are not ready. Ready to let go, ready to go with the flow, ready to vibrate to your highest frequency. Very often, our fears still run the show. No, I can't let go of this. No, I can't let go of that. What would they say? What would happen? So as we go into this soulmate situation, we can see that a soulmate, in my case, when I have had a few in my life, I've met a few in my life. Every time, my life has shifted remarkably in ways that it would never ever have shifted if I didn't meet the soulmate. And yes, it can be extremely unraveling and extremely painful. It can also be extremely beautiful, right? Because the vibration, the frequency, lifts you up to heights you've never experienced before. And but then it will also drop you off to the deepest depths that you've ever had. And sometimes we will feel like we're breaking, and sometimes we will break. Our hearts will break in order for us to come and get to know our hearts. It's very easy to be stuck in ego and fears. Let them take the show. Let them run the show. One other thing when we talk about soulmates and timelines is that when you look at these different timelines that we have in our lives, you have you meet a person. Maybe it happens when you're young. We talk about high school sweethearts or teenage love. And we look at the people who meet, when they meet that right person, how that connection can be very pure and very beautiful. And how that connection, if it's been cared for appropriately, if it's been managed or watered in a beautiful way, those two people can grow together and they create a whole life supporting each other, creating a family, creating a career for each other, with each other. It's a beautiful thing to watch. We can also see that when that doesn't happen, there are times when these timelines converge, we get together with somebody, soulmate situation, but then it doesn't work out. And in my case, I went off into a lot of addictive behaviors, a lot of darkness, real heavy stuff. I was young. And the other person went off and she met somebody else. This other person she met was similar to me. I went off and moved away to different cities, most of the time in an attempt to get over my heartbreak. And it was beautiful in the way that I wouldn't have been motivated enough to move around and to grow the way I did if I had not been that heartbroken. And she went off and met this man, and they had a family, and we got back together later. And when I look at the timelines that have been playing out, I can see that there was an ultimate timeline that could have played out at one point. And then it changed. And for sure, everything played out the way it needed to play out. For sure, I would not be in this inner state if it didn't happen. But I also know that there could have been a lot of beauty created the other way as well. So when we look at this part comes into soulmate relationships, in my experience, are so powerful and they carry so much weight that they are worthy to really truly care for. And the beauty of it is that this is a very controversial topic. I know that because many people react when I say it. But this is where I feel like marriage, what they talk about in religious terms, marriage is very real. When there are two soulmate situations, when two people get together and they are right for each other. It's such a beautiful union. And in those cases, those unions can build so much for humanity, so much beauty, so much love. And when people get together for not the right reasons, if they are not with their soulmate, but they get together with somebody for stability, for money, for looks, for whatever it might be, those relationships are usually not as beautiful. They usually don't leave the same imprint. And now we come into this idea of soulmate and soul family. Because if we look at it from one way, so soulmates have known each other before. Soulmates are people who have walked side by side for many lifetimes. And it may not have been the lifetime just before this one. It could have been a few ones before that. But our lives have intermingled, intertwined for a long time, hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. The essence of who you are, the essence of who I am, we have walked and intertwined over the years. And we meet, create something beautiful, separate, come together in another lifetime, create something more beautiful again. This is a way for the universe to keep creating more and more beauty, more and more love. And then we have soul family, which according to Dolores Cannon and other beautiful teachers, talk about soul clusters. How as we move from lifetime to lifetime, we'll be attracting and attracted to people who we have walked with before. So then you will meet people who you would swear you've known them before. You may not have this romantic relationship interaction with them. You may not have the romantic feelings for them, but there will be an attraction. I feel, oh my God, I really like this person. I really want to be close to them. And that could be more of a soul family situation, where we have walked lifetimes together before. We could have been in the same family before. We could have been in the same wars together before. Same town, same village, same cave, whatever it might have been. Same flock. We've been in different animals before. According to science, we share 80% of our DNA with all other mammals. And in one way of looking at that, could mean that down the line, our energy has been in different forms of life. And now we're in this human form. And humanity, the human form has, of course, a lot of beauty to it, a lot of strength. When we are true to our hearts, when we're not living in fear, when we move into that space of fear, we are basically a bit lost. And when we're looking at what's going on with our society, it's easy to see that the inner pollution, the inner fear is expressing itself throughout our society as pollution of our world. And that is both emotional, mental, physical pollution, right? We're spreading fear, we're spreading negativity, we're spreading hate when we are not in touch with our hearts. So when we come back home, as these soul clusters, right, we help each other out. We walk next to each other lifetime after lifetime. And when we're lucky, we meet these soul people, soul sisters, soul brothers, soul family. We connect, we walk together, and we support each other on this journey so that we can grow, so we can find a way to come home. So we find home. It's a beautiful part of this journey. It's a beautiful part of this life. And personally, I believe we need to take it much more seriously than we do. That when we connect with people, that when we talk to people, whether it be friends or lovers or whatever we are, we need to take it seriously and not just throw each other away, right? Our society has turned into much of a toss everybody away, right? Toss people away, toss things away. And unfortunately, we're not listening to our hearts when we do that. But when we come into our hearts, I just heard of a beautiful love story. This lady and her husband had separated, and they had decided that they were it for each other, both of them. After the separation, they realized, no, this isn't going to shift. I'm still going to love you, and you're still going to love me. And I loved hearing that, right? Because it's sort of like when we go beyond our ego, when we come beyond hurt feelings and we go into heart, we can sometimes see what that deeper truth is. And it's a beautiful, beautiful experience of listening to your inner truth. And it's not all about connecting to others, of course. It's about connecting to yourself. But when you do, the deeper you connect to yourself, the deeper you'll connect with somebody else. And then we're creating these beautiful circles and rings of love in our society, in the ether. We come into coherence. Coming into coherence with ourselves. Coherence means basically coming out of dissonance. So we can look at the cells in a body, that when we're not in coherence, resonance, when a tone in the body is off, right? If you can listen to the song of your own body, you might hear in some places, right? And other times, if you feel sick, or if you feel sad, or if you feel heavy, or if you feel off, that tone might be instead of that tone is the tone we vibrate with into society. And as we come back into our heart, into coherence, with the beating of your heart, with the energy of your soul, that tone starts to shift into a beautiful resonating tone. And this is how we spread our love into the world, both to ourselves, first to ourselves, right? Self-love is the first rule. And even that golden rule, right? So beautiful, right? Treat others the way you wish to be treated, is also really treat yourself the way you wish to treat others. Or let others treat you the way you wish to be treated. Or treat others the way you wish to be treated. Either, all of these are the same, right? So self-love becomes the first rule. Coming into coherence with your heart. And your root chakra, your sacral chakra. Let your chakra system align. Let them come into alignment. So you function at a higher vibration. This is how your soul is expressing itself through you. This is where the heartbreaks can really help us to come back home. When we've gotten lost along the way, we might have been lost in one of my soulmate situations, which I thought was a soulmate situation, at least. I was very lost. A lot of anger, negativity, jealousy, pain. And then losing that situation broke my heart so open that I found the absolute stillness. This is that beautiful part. There are some beautiful shaman teachers that talk about following your heart regardless of what it looks like. Because they mean, because, so the opposite would be follow your heart or follow your mind. Mind is here to keep you safe. Mind has built walls. So if we keep following those walls, staying within the parameters of what we think we should be doing, we'll never really grow. We're going to feel so safe that we'll never fall. And if you never fall, you won't learn how to walk. You won't learn how to feel. You won't learn how to pick yourself back up and feel into yourself. And this is the beauty of the way of the heart. Some people call it the way of the cross, because it's the way of pain. It's the way of falling apart. It's the way of dying to the self, dying to our ego, so that your true self can express itself. And it doesn't have to be as painful or detrimental to our existence as it sounds, but sometimes it does. There are times when it has to be that detrimental. And that sometimes brings us very close to the end. And if we're lucky and we can listen, we can maneuver our way back at home, back to ourselves and go, oh, I lost myself. Oh, I've been lost for a long time. And this is where that soul family and the soul mates come into play. When we meet each other along the journey, we call each other back home. We come back home. And it is a beautiful, beautiful journey. It's also spiritual, right? It's the way of spirituality. So, this was a little bit about soulmates and soul family. I find it beautiful to think about how we have walked different lifetimes side by side, previous times, and we come together and then we go apart, then we come together all the time in order to help raise our vibration. We always keep raising the vibration when we allow that to happen. When we're sitting in full acceptance of what is. So, today's healing session, we're going to go into it right now. I'd like to see if you have your own intention for healing, then please set your intention. Personally, I'd like this healing session today, my intention for the healing session and for you, is to flood you with love. We're coming into Christmas. We're coming into the midwinter solstice. The more love we can start with, the stronger we start off. So I would like to flood you with the love of yourself, your heart, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, the love of Earth Mother, the vibration and frequency of love. I'd like you to bathe in that love. Feel it. Yes, son. So hold that up as we go into the healing session. Feel into that love. Don't put it into a personality. Don't put it into a certain person of any kind. Just feel it in your body. Feel it in your heart. Take a few deep breaths. Let that love spread out through your body. Know that you are held from the root chakra up to the crown chakra. You're held by Father Sky and Father Sun and Earth Mother Pachamama. Mawa ahi yoku. Yo yo wahi yahi. Yo wahi. Let any discord release from your system. May any discord be removed from your system. Coming into resonance. Mawa hiyo wahi. Let that come up your spine. Mawa yahi yogo dai. Yo 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 yo. Wahi. Do yahi. Oh dai. Oh yo 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 yo. Yo wahi. Deo waka deo. Yo tabi yo waya. Toyo. 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 We call on the winds of the south, represented by the serpent, to hold sacred space for us and to activate the deepest level of healing in our system. Flood us with love. We call on the winds of the east, the condor, the eagle, and the dragon, to guide us into the realm of the unseen and to hold sacred space for us. We also ask that the winds of the south be holding sacred space. We have the winds of the north, represented by the raven, the sacred sage of our world. We ask that the raven hold sacred space for us and activate the deepest level of knowing in our system, that you may vibrate to the highest frequency. call on the winds of the west, represented by the jaguar. Oh, to hold sacred space for us and to lend us her courage into our hearts. Toa Yahi. Toa. We call on Earth Mother, Pachamama, and Father Sky to hold us in their loving vibration, their loving frequency of life itself. We experience it as gravity. Toa Yahi. Envision yourself growing roots into Earth Mother. Feel the energy coming in from Father Sun. We have Saint Michael with his sword of light, sword of truth. We're asking that Saint Michael will cut any cords that can be cut when it's for the highest good of all involved. And that with that other sword of light that we get to see the truth that we sit in. See the truth of ourselves. See what needs to be healed. What we can do to shift. Allow those shifts to happen. Whether they be practical or emotional or spiritual. We have Stungle the dragon, Maya the wolf, and Bear the bear. Our power animals who are here to facilitate the healing and to guard our sacred space. We have Sam and his brothers, our spirit guides, who are also here to guard our sacred space, to guide us, and to facilitate the healing. We have the tribe of kings and queens of old. They brought us together. And we have Umbuti and her loving energy. And we have our ancestors, friends and family on the other side of the veil, keeping a watching eye over us. Life force energy itself is here, active in your system. And the Hindu, Indian guru lineage of Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar Giri, Lahiri Mahasaya, and Mahavatar Babaji. And lastly, the Norse. We have Odin and Freya and Thor. And Stafner and Rafner. And Hugin and Moonin. With all these beautiful energies and entities holding sacred space, we're going into this love journey. May these vibrations and frequencies activate deep in your system. Clear the things that can be cleared. Help heal the things that can be healed. And make you feel the love you carry in your heart. Kawahiyo. Kayowahiyo. ya. Toyo yai wa he yo wa he ya. Hey wa he ya. Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo! Ya. Oh he. Oh he. We give a great thanks to the winds of the south, the winds of the east, the winds of the north, the winds of the west, to Pachamama, to Father Sky. Give great thanks to Saint Michael with the sword of light, sword of truth, to Shtungel the dragon, Maya the wolf, and Bayo the bear. To Sam and his brothers, Kawa, to the tribe of kings and queens of old, to Ombute and her loving energy, to the ancestors on the other side of the veil, give great thanks to life force energy itself, to Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yuktesvargiri, Lahiri Mahasaya, and Mahavatar Babaji, to Odin and Freya and Thor, to Stafner and Rafner, and to Hugin and Moonin. Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Jantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Oh, Kade. Oh. I'm so grateful that we are here together. I'm so grateful that we get to sit in this healing space. I'm so grateful when people reach out. The other day, a good friend from here reached out. It's beautiful. So if you ever feel like reaching out, feel free to hit me up. It's always nice to hear. And if you don't, oh, Johnny Neal and Ellie K, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are a tribe. We are soul family. We are walking on this path together. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. But we walk this path of inner alignment, inner enlightenment, and a raising of our inner frequency and inner vibration so that we join in love, yes? Our hearts reach out and connect through the ether. So glad we're sitting here. Come on board again every Monday night. It'll be Christmas Day next time, the 25th, I guess. And hopefully I'll be here. I wish you much love. Revel in your love. Feel it. Be it. Let it come through your heart. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. I will see you soon. Namaste. And aho. Thank you, Ellie K. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.